What's up, Falcons Nation? It's your boy Jew coming at you with another Atlanta Falcons video. As always, Falcons Nation, rise up. In today's video, I'd like to give you guys some Atlanta Falcons news. But if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you know when I've done Atlanta Falcons content or NFL content. If you'd like to follow your boy on Twitter and Instagram, you can follow me at Jew Talk Sports. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can donate to my Cash App, which is the $ Jew Talk Sports. If you'd like to be a part of my Jew Talk Sports membership, you can hit that join tab here on the channel as well. But with that being said, let's jump right into the video. So today in Atlanta Falcons news, the Atlanta Falcons did bring in cornerback CJ Henderson for a workout and a visit. CJ Henderson is a cornerback that goes about 6'1", 205 pounds. And he is one of those guys that originally coming out of college, out of the University of Florida, was one of the better prospects as far as at that cornerback position. He was drafted in the same draft with AJ Terrell and Jeff Okudah. And he is one of those guys that quite didn't live up to the hype of coming out of college due to some injuries and things of that nature. He was drafted by the Jacksonville Jaguars and then traded to the Carolina Panthers. And most recently, he did play for the Pittsburgh Steelers last season. He didn't see any snaps last year with the Pittsburgh Steelers, but he was on their roster. And I really feel like CJ Henderson could be one of those guys that does sign eventually with the Falcons. As you guys know, you can never have enough solid or good cornerbacks on your team because a lot of teams are running spread offenses in the NFL, a lot of 3 wide receiver sets and things of that nature as well. It's important to have multiple corners that can cover and are really good man coverage and zone coverage and things of that nature, and good tackling corners. And the Falcons are showing us that basically they don't feel like they have enough at that secondary position. As I mentioned in my last video, they're leaving no stone unturned. And because some of these guys were not drafted necessarily by this regime, it looks like they're trying to bring in more competition at that defensive back spot. And I do think that there's nothing wrong with wanting to bring in more talent and bring in guys that you think could fit the scheme better that this Falcons team is trying to run. I will have another video tomorrow giving you guys a breakdown of what I think the Atlanta Falcons defense is going to do this upcoming season. But just for this video, CJ Henderson is one of those guys that's a veteran in the league. I do think he's one of those guys that could help this Atlanta Falcons team. Personally, I do like the corners that we have on the roster because I feel like we have guys that haven't been able to really prove themselves. Guys like Clark Phillips that are on the roster, guys like D. Alford that's on this roster. I do think we have some solid guys already on this team. You have the Kobe Bryants that you brought in as an undrafted free agent. So you have guys on this team that I think are solid, but for whatever reason, this Atlanta Falcons coaching staff and front office, the GM and Terry Fontenot, they still believe that they need to get deeper as far as bringing in more depth at that secondary spot, whether it's bringing in more corners and bringing in safeties. So with that being said, you guys give me your thoughts on CJ Henderson. Do you believe that he'll be a good fit with our Atlanta Falcons? He is one of those guys that's a man corner, a guy that plays sticky coverage. He doesn't have a ton of interceptions in his NFL career. I believe the most interceptions he's had in a season is 2 interceptions, if I'm not mistaken. But he is a guy that I do think still has some talent. And we know that the Atlanta Falcons and Terry Fontenot, they like going after players where it's a low risk, high reward type situation. And being that CJ Henderson is a veteran guy, I could easily see them bringing him in on a minimum deal. They really wouldn't have to give him a whole lot of money if they decide that he's an asset and they think that we could possibly bring him in. So this would be like a low risk, high reward type situation, similar to what we saw when we brought in guys like Jeff Okudah a couple years ago, where they signed him on like a 1-year deal. I believe they traded for him at the time. So this is another similar situation with CJ Henderson. If he does decide to sign with our Falcons, it probably would be like on a vet minimum deal. So with that being said, You guys give me your thoughts on CJ Henderson. Do you believe that he could help this Falcons team? And do you believe that he possibly will sign with the Atlanta Falcons? But I have a lot more content coming for you guys. But as always, Falcons Nation, rise up, be blessed. Peace.